Uh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Ask TJ about marketing. I'm your host, Terry Johnson from Terry Johnson Online, and I'm a marketing specialist where I have several years of experience in marketing strategy, and advertising. Now, I'm here today to help you with the basics of marketing and to better understand what marketing is all about and any of these basic questions that you have about marketing. Well, you're going to get the answer right here. So today's question is, are you ready? Here it comes. What I'm saying, the crucial factor is okay, content. We have the call to action that's gonna hopefully lead to sales and revenue, but there's a crucial factor. There's something there that we need to make that work, because people are putting content out and they have a call to action, nothing's happening. Well, you've got to have your audience. You've got to have a following. And
What?
It doesn't have to be millions of people, right?
You mean that you have to have people to talk to?
Yes, you have people that are looking at what you're saying, what you're doing online. And the fact is that people think, well, okay, so say my Instagram, I have like 500 something followers or whatever. And to someone else out there, they're like, oh, well, that's nothing. I mean, to me, that's 500 people. Can you imagine 500 people in a room that you get to talk to?
That are interested in what you have to say. These people bought into you. These 500 people said, I want to hear what you have to say. Tell me something that's going to help me. Instead of 5 million people and only 500 of them actually want to hear what you have to say. It's never been about the big, huge numbers.
Exactly. So now, because I played around with GPT, because I'm thinking, okay, so yes, it makes content. Yes, I have my system where I have my setup, whether it's a website, a Shopify store, a membership. Last week we talked to Linus about the things that she wanted to accomplish. And we were saying that she has a Facebook group of 19,000, which is pretty dang good. That's nothing to sneeze at. There's people that got, well, I think one of my groups, I got 50. She's got 19,000. So that's an audience. So she has that. So when she makes content, like I think she's having a webinar and she puts out the call. She's going to put out a link. Hey guys, in February, we're doing a webinar about XYZ. I know you don't miss this. Here's the link to sign up. Boom. Where does she put that? Out on social media. But we were saying to have her funnel it into the group first, because she's got an audience. Right. So that's the crucial factor. Because say her Instagram or her everything that she has online is, I hate to say low numbers. People looking for millions of followers. She's got enough followers to have an audience.
Right.
19,000, nothing. And that's just on Facebook. So she's on Clubhouse. She's on Instagram. She's going to put the call out. And guess what? People are going to come. Now, what if you don't have a group of 19,000 people who consume your content, and you put something out and say, well, I've heard it's easy to make money online or to run my business and get revenues and grow my business. Let me make some content and put it out. And then there's a dribble, 1 or 2 people. And you're going, well, what happened? Because I see other people, they're making millions. And my efforts aren't doing that. So what's the crucial factor that's missing?
of the audience.
Yes.
So with Linus as being our example here, Linus built that audience over a 10-year period or so.
Yes. I think we mentioned that.
Yeah, interacting with the people who did come. She would put out content and people said, hey, I like this, I want more. And so she kept engaging with the people, kept putting things out there, and she never stopped. That, I think that's a crucial part of the crucial element.
Right.
Is not stopping.
That's a part of it. That's a part of building the audience, growing the audience. So she knew that first.
So she grew an audience first, and she talked to them and kept talking to them until now she has 19,000. So that when she says, I'm having a webinar, then she has several people, not in, what is it? Maybe, what was it? 3 to 5% would respond to the webinar.
Right. A good, return and response is like 3 to 5%. Engagement rates across social media as a whole, as if you're looking at Instagram or whatever, there's ways to measure it, but a good thing is like 3%. So she's got that. So the thing is like, okay, well, she started with just, okay, I'm gonna get out there and talk about what I want to talk about. I want to put my message out. Now she's at the point where she has an audience, but how do we get to that point where you get 19,000 people in your group? Well, ChatGPT can help with that. Canva Write can help with that. Whatever AI tool you can write with that. Remember, the key to these tools is what you ask it. Garbage in, garbage out.
Oh. Basics. Okay, so we're back to the basics. So you still have to have something to say. You still have to bring value in your content, because if you got garbage content, are people going to stick around for that?
Right. So, but how do we find out what that is to build the audience of what they want? Usually you ask questions, you do a survey, you research, you go to forums, websites, you go online, you Google search, wherever you're searching, right? You're searching.
Okay, so you're answering a specific question that the audience has.
Right, but how do you know what that question is what I'm saying. How do you know what the question is?
By going to, like you just said, going to ask people the question.
What you could do, yeah, you have to do some research.
Right.
And go ahead. So
it's not a set it and forget it type of thing. You really got to do some work.
Well, this is the thing. If you don't know the question, you can't provide the answer. I'll put it like that.
Right.
You got to discover the question.
And so I need to know what questions to my audience are asking.
So where do we find that? We go online now, and it's social media now. Before that, it was Google and Bing and the search engines. Before that, what was it? Before the internet, you talk to people. Okay, the Fuller Brush salesman.
Knocked on the door. And
yes, I'm thinking the vacuum cleaner salesman, the encyclopedia salesman.
And then they probably ask random people, so what is your challenge as a homeowner, or a housewife, when they went to
right. And then, we always had data, but back then they had, somebody that would phone call or get the numbers for a particular city or neighborhood and say, well, how many are housewives? How many have families and they have 2.3 kids? Or they, those numbers. That data has always been there. It was someone had to dig it up out of a book or ask somebody on the phone or something like that, and then they would know what neighborhood to go into, suburbs, and they would look at what was in the backyard, what was in the toys. Oh, kids. I'm going to knock on this door because they got kids and they're going to need encyclopedias.
Oh,
Then
so
when they knocked on the door, they knew the court. They good morning, ma'am. Da, 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 da. Did you know la la la? Or do your kid that that's how it proceeded.
so they studied to find
Yeah,
out.
I mean, because you could get data from the local chamber of commerce or the city or whatever entity manages your neighborhood. There's always
Right.
data, like the number of households in this area, and because that's information when you pay property tax and stuff like that. So they could get that. But that would narrow it down for them as to, okay, this neighborhood. And now we're getting into real estate, and you know what I'm saying, like the neighborhood. Right. But how would you know which house had kids? Because that information, it may be there, but it may not be. So how would they find it? The smart ones would canvas.
Right. And they would walk and take a look to see, just like you said, oh, there's a swing set in the backyard. So there are possibly kids.
There's a swimming pool. There's a this, there's a that.
There's bikes on the driveway. There's stuff happening.
You can tell the age of the kids by the is it a tricycle or a bicycle? Is it a small one? Is it large? Is it pink or is it so canvassing and using the human brain to say what is that and let me classify. That's how it was done back then.
The powers of observation come.
Yes. So now what I'm trying to say is that your content, before it works and does the job that you want it to do, which is, I was saying, the call to action, and then getting them to buy, getting them into whatever your goal is, you must know the audience first. You must know them in some form or fashion. And we just talked about the old-fashioned way of doing it. But see, you don't have to pull out the paper and the pen and calculate this and this and that, and then get a result and carry the one and all that great stuff that we had to do in school. And I know older folks get mad at the younger kids because they don't have to do that, but that's the world we live in. So to get back to this is like, you have to know your audience. You have to know who you want to attract. You have to know things about them. And we just talked about some of the longer ways where I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
As a business owner, because now you can buy data. You can go to Statista or Pew Research or what. They have data and you can say, oh, da, da, da. But the line between all of this is getting shorter and shorter is what I want to point out. So getting back to Chat GPT, and it can help you with that.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to learn a new set of skills. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. As far as content, and in this respect, that we always look at things like what's going to save small business owners time.
And it definitely does save time, because you can spend hours trying to write
a blog post,
or an article,
a social media post, which we should just spit it out and move on. And I forgot who it was a couple weeks ago said that they spent hours agonizing over social media posts. And I'm like, no, we don't want to do that.
Especially when social media is so fast, you don't need to, get up, do your post. You don't want to be.
Doesn't have to be perfect, because you're like, oh, I want this to work. I want this to reach 1 million people. That's not going to happen because of the crucial factor of your audience, right?
Yeah.
So how do we increase that? How do we bring more people in? You got to know what they want, what their pain points are, what their problems are, what their wants are, their needs, their passions. What do they desire?
And when you got into business, you knew this stuff.
Okay. So the purpose of this is, like I said, the element that's missing is the audience in this. The larger audience you have, the more you're going to see in the end funnel of this content and call to action. You're going to see more results revenue wise because there's a larger audience. But also remember, we don't want everybody. Everybody's not your customer, because they're not going to pay attention. Why? Because they're not going to pay attention to anything that doesn't apply to them. Right. I don't have that problem. I don't care about that. I care about XYZ. And that's okay, because that person or those group of people your business might not be a fit for them, but someone they know maybe. But if they pay attention and they remember, and then they say weeks later they have a conversation with a family member or a friend or something, they say, oh, they have a problem. Oh, I just saw somebody on the internet, I saw somebody on Instagram, I saw on TikTok, wherever, blah blah blah, go check it out, their username is blah, whatever it is, because they either saved it or remembered it, or they can go back and search. See how that works?
That's good.
See how that works? So that's why you don't want everybody. Everybody's not your customer, and nor should they be.
Because you could waste a lot of time on the people who are not really your customer.
Yes.
One, they probably are not going to talk to you about stuff, and they're just on your database.
They're not interested. So why you're wasting your breath on someone who's not interested? So again, everybody's not your customer on social. As a business owner, you're in love with your business. Oh, this is the greatest thing ever. To who? To you. Did you research and find out who your audience is, and not just go, oh, women between the ages of 21 and 34 who went to college and did? No. Psychographics. Why?
Yes.
Those are numbers. They just sit on the shelf. Numbers. Look good on the chart. Numbers. How do we use the information we need to grow an audience, which when you make your content and you have a call to action and you have a system for people to buy from you online, they do so willingly. That's the thing, the crucial element, the crucial fact that people are missing online. They just think, I'll put up a Shopify store, I'll post some reels and tell them in the link, in the caption, go to my link in bio and buy. Why?
You haven't addressed why I need to come follow you.
Human beings are motivated by wants and needs. There's that what is that hierarchy of needs? I keep forgetting the guy's name. Like, yes, that is very important. People don't buy out of a vacuum. They don't buy because whatever. Especially online, you have to do the educating part. How do you educate? You have to know their wants, needs, desires, passions, pain points, what keeps them up at night. These are things to think about. And as I said, our track is different from the influencer, from a person that's creating to get a brand or sponsorship deal. Business owners are in this for the attention is there. There's a potential audience is there. I have to connect with them in the right way, in the shortest way possible, to give them what they want, so they go and investigate what I have to offer. And then the process of buying from me is right there in a link, in a clickable link, and you make the process easy. That's what it's about for us. So that's why it's there's two different tracks. So we got to think about it in the way that works for us. So I want to build an audience. I'm not Nike. I'm not McDonald's. I'm not P&G and all these other craft that have been around for hundreds of years. We're not them. So you have to say, well, okay, I need to work on this. How do I work on it? So that's it for today's question. I hope you got your answers. I hope you got the information you need to help you better understand marketing and marketing strategy, so you can build your business or your brand online. Now, there's a lot of information online, but a lot of that is, it may not be clear, or it may be outdated, or you just need some clarification. So I hope this information was helpful to you today. So if you need more help, if you have any additional questions, reach out to me, Terry Johnson Online. That is every platform that's available. That's your favorite platform. So reach out to me there. Send me a DM, a message, a comment, and let me know you have a question, and I'll try to answer it. Now, if you want to go to my website, it's terryjohnsononline.com. You can reach me that way also. So that's it for Ask TJ About Marketing. That was today's question. I will see you next time.